What if I told you there's a house in America where people hear screams from rooms that haven't existed in decades, where walls bleed, where time slips, where guests walk in and never come out the same? This isn't a movie set. This isn't some urban legend passed down over a campfire. This is real, and tonight, you and I are stepping inside. Welcome to the Whaley House, America's most haunted home. On a quiet street in San Diego, California, sits a charming old mansion, a picture-perfect example of mid-19th century Greek Revival architecture. White columns, brick walls, wraparound porch. It looks harmless, peaceful even. But behind that elegant facade hides a century and a half of pain, death, and something that refuses to rest. The Whaley House is more than just a relic of the past. Locals call it cursed. Paranormal experts call it a vortex, where the barrier between life and death is dangerously thin. The darkness began long before the first brick was ever laid. In 1852, a man named James "Yankee Jim" Robinson was hanged for stealing a boat. But the gallows weren't built high enough. His feet scraped the dirt. He didn't die quickly. He strangled slowly and violently for nearly an hour. 4 years later, businessman Thomas Whaley bought the very land where Yankee Jim died and built his dream home on top of it. Some say he didn't know the history. Others believe he simply didn't care. Either way, the moment the Whaleys moved in, the curse awakened. First came the cold spots, the footsteps in empty rooms, doors opening by themselves. But that was just the beginning. Their infant daughter died suddenly, then their young son, and later, their daughter Violet took her own life after a bitter divorce, shooting herself in the chest in the second-floor bedroom. Thomas Whaley himself documented strange happenings, heavy bootsteps echoing through the halls always at the same time of night. He believed it was Yankee Jim haunting the site of his execution, but they didn't leave. The family endured and suffered. Today, the house is open to the public, a museum by day, a nightmare by night. Tour guides have quit after seeing full-bodied apparitions. Visitors report icy cold air rushing through sealed rooms. One woman fainted after seeing a shadowy figure standing in a mirror behind her. Another swears she felt someone grip her wrist, though no one else was in the room. Investigators have captured bone-chilling audio recordings, distant crying, screaming, and faint whispers answering questions during spirit box sessions. One child's voice is often heard saying, "Help me," but no child is ever seen. And then, there's the laughter, light, giggling, playful, but not human. Technology doesn't work well here. Cameras glitch, batteries drain, phones die instantly upon entering certain rooms. One investigator watched in horror as a figure walked through a locked door and vanished. Some visitors claim to lose track of time entirely. A 5-minute tour feels like 30. Others report a strange pressure on their chest, like the house is trying to push them out or in, and yet it keeps drawing people back. Why? Because there's a theory, one that goes deeper than ghosts. Some believe the Whaley House isn't just haunted. They believe it's alive, that the spirits here aren't merely echoes of the past, but conscious, intelligent, and possibly malevolent. Some experts say the house is feeding off pain, that every visitor, every tragedy, adds fuel to a darker force that lurks within its walls. And if that's true, then this house isn't just a haunted home. It's a trap. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Would you walk into the Whaley House after dark? Would you dare to enter the room where Violet Whaley bled out, or stand where Yankee Jim took his last breath? Because those who do often say the same thing when they leave. It felt like something followed me home, and some never leave at all. Do you believe in ghosts now? Or do you think the Whaley House is just another tourist attraction with a spooky reputation? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into one of America's darkest places, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life horror stories from the shadows of history. This was Tuned Terror. And remember, the house may look empty, but it's never alone.